All right, continuation. I don't even know where I was at with the other videoing. I was addressing an issue with this thing where I was having an underpower. It was working fine. I'm going for half an hour, and all of a sudden it kind of bogs off, starts losing power, almost sputters out, almost like it's starting to get fuel starved. But any list that I do has this listed as anything from fuel supply, obviously, injectors, bobbing, there's a whole list of things. Two of those things I'm down to is potential for the suction filter. There is the return filter that's a larger one inside of the hydraulic tank inside of here. But there's a return filter that's large in the reservoir in here. Then there's a suction filter at the bottom. And you know, I looked back and during one of the maintenance videos, I don't think I changed my suction filter when I was supposed to. So I'm going to do that. I got that one, but I'm going to have to drain the tank and all that. But one of the Kubota mechanics mentioned that the issue that he's seen before on these when it was a similar circumstance. Now, I've had this whole line inspected. Of course, I've done the fuel filter twice, some fuel treatment, and even did it a second time just thinking that maybe that coagulated and got some other debris loosened and now it's trapped. So that's been a double replacement here. I have taken off this whole side panel, got into the whole fuel system, checked every line all the way back and thinking, man, I just don't find anything. But the Kubota mechanic told me that he has seen in this banjo fitting here where it's making these 90-degree turns, some debris that maybe if it's a needle, maybe a small piece of something that it eventually works its way up, but it can't make the turn and restricts the flow some. So I'm going to go ahead and take that as the next possibility. I've already turned off the fuel. I'm going to put some fuel clamps on it at first, get this off, get the fuel out. We're going to take this all the way off and probably totally disassemble it, clean it, and just see what's in there. All right, got the water separator out, and there's definitely was some debris down in the bottom, but it is in the bottom, so that's a good thing. Just a little bit of sediment, but this is pre-filter, so this is before the filter there. But I'll go ahead and clean that up good, and the gasket looks good. I'll probably reuse it. I have taken off this line, supply side to the filter, and then this one is coming from the tank. Both have been off. And one thing I did notice when I was taking this off is this banjo fitting actually had some movement to it. Doesn't look like it's moving now. Maybe it was optical illusion. I'm looking for places air could get in when the vacuum is being created. But anyway, both of these are disconnected, and now I've just got this, should be this one 12mm bolt here back into the back, and take this piece off and then we'll give it a look-see. All right, I'm zoomed in a little bit, and sure enough, I'm gonna have to go get this Kubota mechanic gift card or something, because hopefully we can get focused in on that and get some light in it. There is definitely stuff in there on that 90-degree turn. Very difficult to see, but it is obstructed, limiting flow. We'll see what that is. So I'm going to take this. This is a banjo bolt. I'm used to this because of the F350 and the 6.4 liter motor, but it's shaped like a banjo. So let me go get the socket, and we'll take this apart and really look inside, but looks promising for a cure here. All right, so this may have been easier to get this banjo bolt off if I'd have left it on. Because just trying to do a wrench with this, I don't really have a good clamp or anything like that to hold it. So I end up having to use my impact gun just to kind of bump it and keep turning it out. It's a 17mm. Just kind of bizarre. But here is the banjo bolt, and I just saw the piece fall out of it. See if we can get that focused somewhere. Of course not. There we go. Okay, that fell out. I pulled the bolt out. And of course that was obstructing one of the holes here. So clear now. And I don't really see much else on it. Now these don't look like brass compression fittings that I'm used to. Every time I would change the banjo bolt or do something with the fuel cooler on the 6.4 liter, I would have to change out those. But this is just the gasket, and it looks okay. So we're gonna put it back together. I do see a little piece of debris there. Yeah, actually, I'm going to go ahead and wipe this down and clean it. I do see some grit around this O-ring. And beneath it, I see a little piece there and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and wipe it down, clean it. And I really just suspect it's on that flow side. So I'll look closer into this one, see if I really need to do anything there. But everything looks really clean otherwise for that. So we'll clean this up. All right, before we put the water separator back on, I'm going to take this supply line coming from the tank, and I'm going to put just a little bit of air pressure, see if I feel like an obstruction or anything on it. And maybe there's one little piece of that same debris that's there in the tank. Now, I don't have a lot left in the tank, so what I'm going to do is just try to use this up today. But just going to check this obstruction. Let me seal it a little bit. Should be able to hear it. Yeah, I hear a little bubble in the tank.